Welcome to free back pain classes. Struggling with back or body pain? You're in the right place. Here, we explore the transformative power of myofascial release and movement. Our classes are designed to help you find relief, improve your mobility, and enhance your overall well being. Oh, get some breathing in, big breath in through the nose. Just let everything go. Try to get the mind just to let go and just to be focused in the body. And fire in the pelvic wall, all those muscles around the butthole, also the transverse abdominal muscles pulling down. We got a very large breath in. Think about putting your breath into your back body, coming up the backwards way instead of always at the front. Awesome. Awesome. Today's extended ball time again. So exciting. Today we're going to do our lats. These big bad boys right here. I'm going to show you a picture. So if you're not close, come close. And we'll show you a couple of pictures of the lats. Actually the back. And that way you get a little bit of an idea of what is kind of happening here. And again, I love anatomy apps. Now it doesn't really matter that you know everything, but just visualizing what's really happening in the body I find super helpful. Okay, so let's try this. Let's try. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can do this properly. Okay, so that's your back. Boom, boom, boom. I've got some muscles on there right now, but that's what the back looks like. Let me add a muscle group. Okay, then we got a little more muscles. Okay, we got up and bottom muscles. And then we got the bad boys, the big bad boys. So the lats are that. That's a lat. Okay, that's a latissimus dorsi muscle, that's called. And then you can see what happens with that. That's a large muscle, goes underneath the armpit, hits that shoulder blade on the corner, okay, which is why I always talk about that little special area there. Okay, and then one more, just to give you a little bit more overview there. So on that lat, if you remember what that looked like just a second ago, the lat's highlighted. On the top of that is your trapezius muscle. Okay, so that's our trap. Oh, it goes all, look how big that bad boy goes all the way up into the neck. So, and then that's the lat. And you see how they just kind of stitch themselves together. So you see that little line there between the two. Focus on that one because they get stitched together. And also the lat, let's back this off just for 1 sec. The lat, if you notice, get a little closer, hopefully there's no glare on that bad boy. I know there's a little glare, but you see how the lat, the lines of the muscles, they go from the outside to the inside. So they're actually going on a cross pattern across your body, not up and down like many of the other muscles do. So, and that muscle, the lat, also rotates and turns when it goes into your underarm. So it can be, let me show you that. So it can be quite a bit of a deal here. So let me highlight this bad boy for you. Isolate it. I love this app. This is one thing I love about this app, is that you can kind of isolate things. There's a lat again. Look at that lat. Look at that bad boy. Okay, and you see where it comes underneath, and it actually, if you look at that tissue, you can see that it actually rotates there before it hits the arm. And then it goes into your arm, underneath your arm, right? So we're going to go from underneath the arm all the way to the shoulder blade down to the low back. So, or mid-low back anyways, depending on where you're feeling. Again, let me just get out of this. I'm going to show you one more time if you're still paying attention there. Boom, boom, boom. There's the big lat. And remember this lat with this line, trapezius coming into it too as well, okay? So fun. So those are our lats. They're a massive muscle. They really impact the way that the body functions. So if they're super sticky, your shoulders are going to be stuck. So let's get started. I think we can do purple or green. I think I'm going to go greeny, green, green. And I'm going to start on my back. It's the best way to do this. You can also do right underneath the underarm. Boom, boom, boom. And lay that underarm out flat. But sometimes it hurts that arm to be in that position for a long period of time. So going greeny, green. I'm going to start. Remember where it attaches, right in underneath in here. So I'm going to go a little bit of there, and then I'm going to go all the way inside along the shoulder blade. Boom, boom. Remember that line, and then down. Okay, so we're going to be here at least 15, maybe 20. And I think I might even double ball today. I might even do a little bit of the head while I'm doing this. I'm really been enjoying just doing that head a bit. So let's do the breathing. Remember what that muscle looks like. And the app that I use is the Essential Anatomy 5 app. And you can get it from any of the download stores, whichever one you want. And the reason I like that app is because it allows you to kind of layer everything, which is really nice. Big breath. Also, when you double ball flow, you don't get quite as much load that you might need on that lat or that shoulder. Might be a little sigh, a little breathing. Big, 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 big. I got a little bit of an injury to this shoulder too, so I'm just gonna be a little gentle with it. And then hopefully it'll work itself out by unloading. So big breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Out your breathing. Again, we just want to keep increasing the amount of breath, right? All the time. And if you can get to 10 seconds, that's great. If you can get a little bit longer, 20 seconds, even better. 30 seconds, even better. Big breath. Just trying to get this little piece on the arm there. And a little bit of tricep with this too as well. Everything crosses over one another. There's no single muscle movement. It's not like one muscle just moves by itself. We've got a whole bunch of things happening. Big, 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 big. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to go on the corner now of that shoulder blade. Remember that lat, it just hit the corner of that shoulder blade. And this is a good time to double ball or have a pillow or a bolster underneath your head, just keep the head supported. It doesn't like to be mashed around too much. It loves that support. Big breath. A little bit of that lat coming in. So sometimes that lat will stick right on your shoulder blade, right on the corner of it, and it won't let go. It won't let go till it gets pushed off that shoulder blade, and that's quite interesting. So the fascia of our body, right, gets stuck sometimes when we are in long-term positions or we get in car accidents. There's lots of trauma to the body. The fascia will shift itself on the body. It'll roll around areas like your arms and your shoulders and your torso and your hips. Big, big, big breath in through the nose, out through the nose. So you gotta be always thinking about that. Always thinking, hey, which way does I need to move that fascia off of my shoulder, off of my rib cage, whatever. Big breath. Big breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. And these lats, they got to come off of these ribs. They get stuck on the rib cage. It is a thin, fairly thin muscle. If you remember when I isolated, it's not deep like our butt cheek muscles. Those are massive. This muscle is big, but it is not deep. So what happens is it does get sticky and get stuck sometimes on your rib cage. So and you might notice that this kind of lat will take a bit of time for it to totally let go as well. So just be gentle, be diligent on your lats. Lats and hip flexors. Big breath in the back. Think about putting that breath up the back body. Breathing into those lats, thinking about expanding your ribs. That allows the tissue to become more supple way faster. Where's your mind at this morning? Really try to keep it into that lat, into that shoulder, into the breathing. Way more efficient if your mind is intentional than if we're just kind of drifting around. By the spines too. Remember that bad boy goes right in and grabs onto the spine. So we got to go very close, not right on the vertebrae, but very close on the spine. Also too, when we're in this area, if you can have a look, if you want to have a look, see. This area will also dramatically affect the upper shoulder and upper neck on the other side. So remember, we talk a lot about rotation and how the body a lot of times isn't stuck where the pain is. It's stuck in an antagonist or opposite muscle group. So the body and the spine rotate. So as a muscle gets stuck maybe lower down in the body, then it might stick a muscle up in the upper part of the spine or even the lower part of the body. So this is why it's just very difficult sometimes to figure out what's happening in your own body. So suppleness in all the joints and muscles makes it as easy as possible. It does take a bit longer sometimes, but it is a supple body is a special thing. Big breath. Right into the back. I'm still kind of in that same place, just off of the shoulder blade, down from the shoulder blade now. Remember the line between the lat and the trapezius muscle, and they get stuck, and that's the very special spot we talk about all the time. You can stay in that special spot for a super duper long time. When people come and see me, they're like, wow, you didn't know that was stuck, because you can't feel it a lot of times until it starts to move around and open up. Big breath. How big is your breathing? Bigger, deeper, longer, and slower. I'm going to make a move now. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down, and I'm actually going to go back outside just the tiniest little bit, just to get that lat again. But I'm well off the shoulder blade now, making my way down. We're already at 10 minutes on this latissimus dorsi. Yeah. Big breath in, big breath out. Got a little bit of sun this morning. That's nice. Looked like the smoke has kind of pretty much cleared itself out. So nice. The mind's traveling away, bring it back. I got a little bit of movement down, a little ball movement, going back in and closer to the spine again, and a little bit down. Again, your lat might be a little sticky in another place, besides where mine is. Might be lower down. Also, the lat also is affected, and it is not the lat, but it is the fascia of the lat by that area right there on the corner of the butt cheek, where the fascia of that lat comes and grabs onto this area. Okay, so now anatomy doesn't really show this, but I know from personal experience that when that area lets go too as well, then the lat lets go. So you might want to be down there today as well. We did the glutes yesterday, so we did a lot of that glute med area, that glute medius on the corner, right in that corner of the butt cheek. But the lat has a big impact down there too, so maybe you need to get down that way. Maybe this up part's not too stuck. But I always find that right around my shoulder blades, very sticky. Big breath. Breathing and letting go. So don't be impatient with this lat. It does take a bit of time. You can't even see my lat. If you look at my video right now, you can see that big bulge on the outside of that ball. I don't know, that may be a bit of body fat, but most of that is a bit lat. A little bit lat. Yeah, I got a little body fat on me. Not a lot, but I got a little chunky chunk. Doesn't bother me at all anymore. Some people get so We talked about it yesterday, I think, or the day before, about being so lean, and it's not super good for you. Big breath. Actually, when a woman starts to get below 12% body fat, she starts to lose her menstrual cycle. And then, I know some of us are older and that doesn't matter anymore, but it really messes up your hormones when you don't have enough fat. How's the breathing? How's that lat? My lat's just starting to let go now. That's only like, what, 14 minutes on this lat for it to let go. We're going to be here, yeah, probably 5-ish. Sorry about that, guys. If you're feeling you need to move, then you can move and do some child's posture, move around a little bit. If you're not following me today and you're doing something else, that's super great too. Thanks for joining. Oh, down in this, down now in that lower lat where you're just starting to come off the rib cage. And that's where also this muscle that comes from the outside of the bum to the inside of the spine, called the what? That little triangular muscle on the bottom there, the quadratus lumborum, the QL muscle, they cross over each other and they get sticky on one another. That's why when the lat is stuck, the hip is going to hike up a lot of times. Yeah. Or it's going to rotate inwards, maybe backwards and in, depending how it feels. It can hike up, it can rotate in, it can do a whole bunch of things. But when the lat and the QL get stuck, they got to be pried apart. Big breath. Breath into the area where the ball is, expanding like a large balloon in that area, opening the tissue from the inside out, breathing and opening. 2 more minutes left on this lat. How's your breathing? How's the letting go? You might even notice as the as the lat lets go, you might get a little opening in the front here, because I'm pretty low now. Not super low. I'm going a little lower. How low can you go? And really close into that spine as well. Again, depending on where you feel. So a lot of times after we've done the ball a lot, there's no pain in the body in the place where we're all. But you'll notice the ball doesn't go into the body. It doesn't open a space in the muscles and allow that ball. That means that muscle's still stuck. That muscle should be supple and open right up and allow that ball to travel closer towards your spine. So people are always asking me, Steve, when do I know if my body's let go? When do I know? Well, your body's let go when that ball sinks deeply into that muscle. You feel it kind of like almost like a little release or a pop or a, oh, now I can move that arm better. I can move the low back better, or big breath. About a minute left on this lap. I'm going to go a little bit more outside again. Oh, that's a good spot. Again, right where that, right on that corner. See where that lat comes off, that rib cage. Just off that rib cage inside is one of the stickiest spots on people. And again, you won't really feel it because it doesn't move until somebody sticks their thumb in there or you got a ball in this area. This is another big area on the, I might be here another little bit longer than a minute. If you're not on this area, haven't done this, have a look where I am right now and you get on this area and get on it make a huge difference in how your body feels by letting this little area let go. Big, 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 big breath. Big, 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 big. How big? So big you can't even understand how you could do it. 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds on that inhale. Thirty more seconds. So we are going to do just a little bit of the bum, okay? So, because that's what we talked about. So we're going to do it just to show you, okay? So once you've done your lat there and you're feeling pretty good about that, take that ball, put it on the corner of your bum cheek. You are below the pelvis bone, okay? So you're below the bone. You're actually on the bum cheek. You're not on the back. You're on the bum cheek. And it is about yay, okay? Approximately. So I hope you're looking at me. That's where that lat fascia goes. Okay, so we're going to spend a minute-ish or so there. So you may notice that there's a whole bunch of things happening in this area. But you might notice that's a bit sore. Even though we did those glutes yesterday, maybe that lat got a little sticky again. Big breath. So I would make sure that even if you don't do a really long time on the lat, that you get this little corner opened up on the upper butt cheek. Maybe even doing the thread the needle here like I got my knee up might be good for you too as well. Also right around our SI joint. So the sacroiliac joint is somewhat affected by your lats. Wow, eh? 30 seconds, then we're out. Then we're going the other side. Remember, it's Sunday, it's extended ball time. Don't get impatient. Breathe. So great. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Breathe. We're going to spin around, and then we're doing the other lat. How are we doing for time again? Oh, that was just over 20 minutes for that lat. Oh, how's that feel now? How's that big muscle moving? Shoulder might move better. Oh, it's beverage. Don't forget the beverage. You deserve a beverage after 20 minutes on the lat. And the reason we do these extended ball times is so that you understand that if you spend a little more time on the ball, they get way more release. And that also too, that does take some time. It's a strong body you have. You may not think it's super strong, but it's super strong. And so, yeah, it takes some time to open these big muscles. So again, try not to be impatient with your body. It's very difficult when your body is in pain that you want to get out of pain really quickly. I get that, but sometimes that's not really the case. It did take me a very long time, just because, one, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm going to get that lat again, right in the shoulder blade here, underneath the shoulder blade in the underarm. I'm doing it a little differently on this side, only because that shoulder on the other side is a little injury right now, so maybe a little careful with it. I don't want to extend it out too much. There we are. That's that lat. That's the lat tie-in. And you know, because it feels a little bad. Kind of has a little bit of almost of a cramp session feeling to it when you get right on that right spot on that bone there. Right there. That's where it is. Right there. Right there. If you can see that. Okay? Right there, right there. In the middle. Just go to the middle. That's a good one. Again, we're just like in the TV watching position here. Big breath. Oh, we got blue sky. Look at that. We got blue sky. Haven't had blue sky for a while. Big breath. That is pretty intense right there. Especially when I lay my head down. I got even, head's about 14 pounds approximately. Oh, see, adding a bit of pressure on that bad boy. You can tell when it lets go because the lat on the back by the shoulder blade let go. The body. What a miraculous gift we've been given. And I know some days it doesn't feel like it's a gift, but it's a gift. So nice. Gonna move down. Going to the edge of that shoulder blade. And again, you might just want to roll your body on top of the ball. I'm using my hand just because I try to stay in the camera for you guys as best as possible. Okay, so I'm right on the corner of that shoulder blade there. Remember that line between that lat and the trapezius muscle? So when the one's stuck, so the trapezius muscle, which is this muscle up here, which is the one we engage when we're stressed, if it's up all the time, your lat is going to be stuck. If your trapezius muscle is up all the time, your lat is going to be stuck because it is actually pulling on your lat. We saw the picture. Doesn't make sense, right? One's pulling, the other one's pulling until they unstick themselves together. So, big breath. How's the breathing? How's that letting go? This one's letting go way better than the other side. I think partly because I hurt that shoulder, but this one's letting go like boom. We're still going to be here though, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, because there's lots to do. I didn't start the timer yet, so let's do that. Otherwise it'll be like midnight, we'll still be here. I've done it. I've spent great deals of time on the ball before, that's for sure. Big, 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 big breath in when I was in spasm all the time. That's all I did was ball. So again, if you're fairly new, or if your body's not feeling very good, spend way more time on the ball. breathing into the back body. So this is again when the breathing is really dramatic, makes a big effect on the body. Because again, the lats might not move around too much because they may be stuck. So by you breathing, you are creating a tiny bit of movement in all the musculature of the torso, of all the upper body, the abdomen, all of it. So breathing is really crucial. Not only that, as we already know, the breathing is the thing that makes the brain change its patterns. I'm going to go a little bit back on the side again. And again, one side might be in a different place than the other side. You might find that you need to change your body positioning. Like this one, I find this lat a little stickier on the outside, partly because this lat is always so tight, and it is going to pull the other lat, the fascia of that lat, in a different position. So they both may be a little bit different. So you might need to do one in a different spot, in a different way, as I'm doing, than you did the other one. My lat just let go on that side. My head just adjusted itself. You'll see it if you watch the video, because my head moved. Oh, on the corner of that lat now, and I'm doing it this way on this side. So this is way more aggressive than the way I did it on the other side, which is I'm on my side body and I'm just putting all my weight and pressure on the corner of that shoulder blade. The shoulder blades are a funny bone. There's so much going on with the shoulder blades. They move. They're supposed to slide, if you can believe it, up and down your back. Yeah, can you believe that? They actually slide. There's a muscle that lays right underneath the shoulder blade. Oh, that lat outside just let go. Super nice. There's a muscle that lays underneath the shoulder blade. What's that called? Does anybody know? What's the shoulder blade called as far as like a bit of a medical term? It's called the scapula, right? Oh, look at that turn. Wow, we're really pressuring this lat. It's like, Steve, why are you doing this to me? Just kidding, it loves it. So the scapula, that's the name of the shoulder blade. It's called the scapula. What's underneath the scapula? The muscle there. The body should, the shoulder should move up and down on. What's it called? It's called the subscapularis. Sub, meaning under. Oh, there we are. What a good spot. Again, inside, and this might be a little bit of trapezius and not quite on that lat, but just let go. I almost swore, but I didn't. I caught myself. I'm getting so much better. Going down now. Lat came off that shoulder blade. How do I know? Because I feel it move. I just felt it pop off that shoulder blade. It just popped right off. It just pop. What did it do? Pop right off. I love it when that happens. Rest of the body just letting go now just because that opened up off that shoulder blade. So just imagine, like, if that is stuck on the outsides, like, then, you know, even the lats can be stuck on both on the outsides of the shoulder blade. So that means that the shoulder blade's not moving and the mid-back isn't moving. And so spending some time on the corner of that shoulder blade, or both shoulder blades, priceless. Priceless. I think that wasn't that an old MasterCard commercial? Priceless. Remember that ran around for so long? How's your breathing? How's your letting go? Pretty good now. Now that shoulder blade popped off. Chest let go a bit. Everything is letting go now. That's why I spent a lot of time on that one, right? That shoulder blade, and I pushed on it well on that side. So don't be gentle with it. Some things you gotta be gentle with, but Liesland. I'll tell you when you gotta be gentle. You don't need to be gentle with your shoulders, your shoulder blades, your lats. Kick the crap out of them. Yeah, that's what works. Some areas, as we know, like the low back and the neck, I always tell you to be super cautious on, because and even the face and the jaw, be cautious. They're different tissues, there are different things going on. But the lats, beat them up. Make some hamburger, some organic hamburger out of those lats. Big breath. So now you can, if it's come off there, you can move it. And you'll notice, how do I know also? Because my shoulder blade and my arm and everything, they really just drop to the ground once that lets go. Big breath in, big breath out. Lots of yakking going on today again, isn't there? Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about something for an hour, since we're doing extended ball time. So we've been on this about 9 minutes now. That's it. That seems like a long time, but again, I hope you're understanding the difference between your two lats and where they might get stuck. How's the breathing? How's the letting go? How's the breathing? How's the letting go? Yeah, I still got that double ball going on this side. Look at that. I'm so talented. I've really gotten so talented in my old age. Here I am. So off the shoulder blade now, kind of in the mid-spine, on the rib cage. Remember, it goes on a bit of an angle down to the second, third lumbar, then comes off, goes to the outside where the QL is, and then we know we got that little bit of a butt cheek fascia we gotta do. Big breath. Even get some opening now on the opposite side of my head, because this lat's letting go now. I got some opening in the front of this fascia. So, we've been balled a lot on the abdomen, and that should be fairly supple. Sometimes we need to do the lower rib cage area too as well, but if the lat lets go, a lot of times the lower rib cage area is going to let go in the front. Especially if your breathing is really expanding like big balloon in it. Big breath. How's the breathing? The lat might be coming off now. Right down on that lower rib cage now. Just coming off the rib cage again with a lat in the quadratus lumbar, the QL, the quadratus lumborum muscle. If you go to physio, you might hear your physio talk about, oh, your QL is stuck. I will tell you that the QL won't relax and let go if your lat is stuck on that same side. So do the lat and the QL a little bit. Be careful with your QLs. Again, they are the low back. So if you're going to do that, I like to stay outside. I don't like to go too close into the spine when we do our lumbar. Upper back, go right ahead. Go close to the spine, no problem. Mid back, no problem. Lower back, just be gentle with it. It's not super flexible down the low back. The vertebrae actually only move 2 degrees. And just basically don't move at all. The lower lumbar, in just basically underneath your rib cage approximately. There's no movement in your spine. The spine moves at the 12th thoracic vertebrae, which is where your ribs actually begin. So the thoracic part of your spine is from your rib cage. Basically, your rib cage is your thoracic part of your spine. How's the breathing going? Big breaths in, big. Notice your neck letting go as these lats let go. Again, because why? They control the trapezius muscle, which is that muscle that goes all the way up to your upper back. So now I'm starting to get some opening in this rib cage in the front, on the opposite side of the ball. Why? Because the trapezius muscle at the top has got some space now, and I'm breathing into it. Now we can start to let go as well. So you'll notice that your neck will move much better after your lats release. How's the breathing? I'd say we're about maybe a minute and a half on the upper part. Then we're going to go to that bum cheek, that medial glute area where that lat kind of finishes itself. You might even notice a little gurgling in your belly when your body starts to let go. That's all the abdomen muscles and the small and large intestine letting go. Remember, they have muscles in them. They have little round muscles that are like little sphincters, and what they do when they contract, they push all the goo that's in your large and small intestine through it, basically. So if the muscles of the abdomen are really stuck, or the muscles of the low back are really stuck, it is possible that your digestion and elimination is not very good. That's the way mine was for very many long time, until my psoas muscle. We know that bad boy, that first, until my psoas muscle in the front let go. Then my abdomen. I used to be constipated. All this stuff I share with you guys, wow. I used to be constipated every day of my life since I was a little boy till my back let go when I was about 40. Yeah, and then that just went away right away. Now I'm a regular. Big breath. No, I'm regular, not irregular. Don't get me wrong now. Big breath. Yeah, we talk about everything here, don't we? 30 more seconds on this lat, then we're going to go down to this lower butt cheek, then we'll do a little bit of movement. Hey, we got to do a bit of movement afterwards. Don't have to do a lot, but we do have to do some. I'm pretty low right now. I'm just exploring this QL on the outside. There it is. Okay, so remember, I found a little spot too. We're going to be here another minute. Okay, you know I'm always going to find a little bit more for you guys. Come down with me if you're in that lower rib cage area, just off the rib cage, kind of in the middle of that side, between your spine and the outside of that rib, in the middle there is where that lat comes in and goes into the spine. This is An area for people that you gotta be on a lot, and it'll take some time, and then all of a sudden, boom, it'll let go, and then your body will rotate, and your pelvis will start to move better, and your SI joints won't get stuck so much when we release this area right here. Okay, right here, there it is, right there. I can feel the heat coming now in the opposite butt cheek as that lat is letting go a little bit more. So again, I always harp on the idea that the body is a unit. It's not separate. You can't just fix one muscle group and think the whole body is going to be better, especially if you've been stuck or in pain for a long time. All the body has adjusted itself to that, okay? It's called chronic stuff. I'm coming off the greeny green in the, excuse me, in the back now. And I'm going to go to that little area in the butt cheek muscle, okay, on the top butt cheek, the outside glute muscle, which is right about yay. Okay, you can even do that little bit of a thread the needle and pick that leg up if that feels good for you. Doesn't feel good, don't do it, might be too much. And just roll around a little bit, find the sticky spot. It is higher than lower, so just so you know, the fascia there. And it might be more outside than you think it might be, so just find it and then just stick on it for a minute or two. And then we'll be done with the ball on the lats. Oh, I hear sadness and weeping and gnashing of teeth. I know you want to stay longer. Well, you can if you want. You got all Sunday. It's not like we're going to the beach today, probably. Maybe I might cry. My neck just adjusted itself again. The one thing you will learn about the body, if you get really good at this, the body will self-adjust all the joints. Don't need to go to the chiro. Nothing wrong with going to chiro if the muscles are supple. You go ahead. Unless you got disc problems, I would be very cautious on going to a chiropractor. But if you don't have any disc issues and you're just stuck, the muscles become supple, going to chiro can help quite a bit. Me, I can adjust my own bones by myself by laying on the ball, just because the muscles are supple enough for me to actually do that. Big breath, 30 more seconds on this. That just takes some time. But again, if the muscles are really supple and the joints are really movable, then we won't get any stuckness in those bones because everything will move just really nice. 20 more seconds. Yeah, I know. I said 30 more seconds, 20 more seconds. Breathe. It's like renovating an old house, guys. That's what we're doing. We're renovating an old house. So always way more to do than you think there is. And we're out. Balls are done. Let's get a beverage in us. Really nice. I really like that renovation analogy. Beverage. Really good one, eh? So we're renovating the old house. And when you renovate the old house, you start tearing down things. You find stuff you didn't know was there. Okay, so going back to the side over now, which again, one of my favorites. So we use the side over to open the lats and that bottom piece, and my suggestion is you grab the foot, not the knee. But again, whatever works for you. I'm going foot. Okay, I'm going to do the side that we started with first. So you see I get a little bit of a roll over, so I get my foot to relax down. Okay, so that would be the hip opener, and then the lat opener is the fact that I rolled that shoulder back down on the ground, and my arm is somewhat, and again I can't put my arm all the way up today just because I injured this shoulder yesterday. It'll be better soon though. There you go, we got a little bit of lat opening on that side. Maybe what I should do is I should turn around. Let me turn around. Okay, so that way you can get to see the sides of how that. Okay, so you see here, I'm going into this area, and I'm going to, if you can, raise your arm up. Be gentle. My arm's a little stuck today. So now I got way more opening through the lats, through the mid body, through underneath the arm there. If you can tuck your arm underneath your head, even better. But be super careful if you've injured your shoulder. Okay, Mr. Butler, I will. And your goal is to take that hip and put it on the ground, okay? Backwards. That's creating more space. So you're trying to do that and put that back. Ow, that shoulder hurts. Yeah, I probably ripped a bit of a tendon in my shoulder yesterday. I did a little fall. I wasn't drinking or nothing. Just, once in a while those things happen. I stepped on this pillow. This pillow just shot out from underneath my foot and took my feet right from out underneath me, which I got great balance normally, and I went down on my shoulder so fast. Not good. But we'll have it fixed up in a couple weeks. Big breath. That side lat, that lower part's just starting to let go now. Breathe. We're here for another 30, 40, 50 seconds. Breathe. Maybe the head's moving around now. Breathe. That's breathing. Also can move the head. I like moving the head the opposite way. 20 seconds, breathe. There we go, just let go. Lower lat, just let go for me. And you'll notice that if you pay attention, you can go back and watch this. You'll notice that now my knee is going away from me and the hip is falling to the ground. So the body will change position because gravity is going to pull. Gravity's always pulling on us. So once things let go, your body should fall more towards the ground. Towards the planet. Let's come out. Let's do a tree underhook or a tree overhook on that side, depending on what feels good for you. The tree underhook, just grabbing the foot. Be careful. Breathe. Awesome. Nice and slow. We're going to gently do the other side. I'll change my angle again. Yeah, I might not be able to pull too much with this other arm. How are we doing for time? Just time enough. Just time enough. Okay, so we're going to grab the knee or the foot. I'm going to grab this foot. Okay, gently, of course. And roll it over, put it on the ground if you can. Maybe you're not putting it on the ground yet. That's okay. I'm going to roll this other lat, this whole side of this rib cage back down to the ground if possible, okay? Tuck my shirt back in. Breathe. Don't want you seeing my bum crack. That would ruin your Sunday, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know, I'm a little strange. Oh, you might get a butt crack view anyways, huh? Shirt's just not long enough. Breathe and let go. Yeah, breathe and let go. Breathe and let go. Again, the knees trying to go away from you. My lat just let go by the rib cage, and now you watch that knee just fall open down to the ground. Pretty amazing how that happens. Now I'm into my low back, opening the low back a little bit. Because the lat let go, remember the lat's attached to the QL. So when your lat lets go, your low back is going to want to let go too. It's just magical. As you're breathing, breathing should be really deep now, really long, pelvic wall, doing a bit of work, pulling down towards your feet as you take a breath in. Breathing into the back, opening the lats up, the QLs, maybe even the neck and the head. Breathing and breathing and breathing. A bit of neck adjustment again. My leg's funny that way. It'll just open right up by itself. That's why I don't do a lot of work on my neck, because once the chest is open and the lats are open, your neck will open rapidly. So a lot of times we get a lot of stickiness in our neck, especially after we sleep. A lot of times it's because the shoulder blades are stuck. The scapulas. The who? The what? The scapulas. What's his name? Scapulari. What's his name, the actor? Nelson Scapulari. Oh, that's Scandalani or whatever his name is from the... I'm losing my mind. Let's do a tree underhook. I hope I bring you some entertainment anyways. I'm not a really good joke teller. I like to tell jokes. Maybe I should tell some jokes while we're doing this. Tree underhook, 45 seconds, then we're Shavasanizing ourselves. Mid-back should feel way more open. Maybe your head's more open now. And let's Shavasanize. Shavasanize.
Please like and subscribe. You're on your way to feeling better.